Is ji-idle's Miyeon inconsiderate? But what about the potential lineup for the Black Label's alleged new girl group? Of course, we need to talk about the ZEROBASEONE Jiwoong swearing scandal. But also, is Hybe trying to buy SM again? All that and more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. My hair is frustrating, my look is frustrating me, my entire existence is frustrating me, and I'm just like, do you ever just have one of those lifetimes? If I don't do my hair, I feel like it doesn't look good. If I do my hair, it looks greasy. You'll be like, go buy dry shampoo. I went to Shoppers the other day. Brown dry shampoo was like $15 for a tiny little bottle. And I was like, I'll get it next time. I haven't gotten to it and I'm frustrating myself for not having got to it. But is the brown dry shampoo really going to help anything? Because even if I do my hair and it looks greasy, then I ungrease it, it's still flat. God damn it! This went on way longer than it should have. ji-idle recently made an appearance on Knowing Brows, and Sun expressed something that has made people question her fellow member Miyeon. So what could it possibly be? What is the drama about this time? Why are people mad at Miyeon? Well, ji-idle's Miyeon's Knowing Brows appearance sparks unexpected backlash. So basically in this episode, they're talking about her habit of being late, and Sun basically expresses something along the lines of, it's not like you're late a lot of the time, it's that you're never not late, essentially. The thing is, Anya is not late all the time. It'd be easier to think of her as never being on time. She goes further into this apparent issue that they're having. She comes running to me saying, I'm so sorry, and I can't help but wonder, if she's sorry, how come she's late again? With Miyeon responding, first of all, I want to say that I am sorry. I mean it. I struggled with running late all the time ever since I was in elementary school. It's honestly a condition I suffer. It's something I don't like about myself. But Sen is out here on the dot. For example, if we said we'd meet at noon, the other members also run late from time to time. So I don't think it's a big deal for them, but Sen is on time all the time. With Sen adding, oh yeah, if we said noon, I'd be ready in front of the door at 11:59. So I did try to watch the snippet of this episode, but the subtitles are really bad and my Korean's not as good as you think it is. But they definitely do joke around about the situation. You know, I can't speak to what Miyeon is feeling specifically about being called out about this stuff. You know, you can imagine that if you're living with a group of people that you didn't choose to live with, and yes, we can fight all we want about how idols actually love each other so much, they're literally family, they would die for each other. At the end of the day, we don't know them, and you probably fight with your family as well, or people that you love. And if you're moved into like a dorm with a bunch of people that you don't really know, that you have to work with, I'm sure there are plenty of personality clashes. Someone who is late all the time versus someone who is on time all the time, and they don't understand how each other works in their brains. It could be like a very real issue within their lives and she felt the need to bring it up, or it could just be something that they're amplifying the gravity of to make fun content for this show. We never really know. That's the thing. I always take things said on these types of shows with a grain of salt because of course it's for entertainment. They need to be entertaining. They need to exaggerate things sometimes. Maybe taking a small real issue and turning it into a big thing. You know, exposing each other is such a fun thing. But that's just my point of view, right? I don't think it's in Soyeon's best interest to make her fellow member look bad. From a company point of view, from a viewer point of view, that's not I wouldn't think that's in her best interest. But anyways, here's what some people think of the situation. Being that inconsiderate is nothing to be proud of. It's not a condition, just dumbness. It must be bad enough for them to be talking about it on a show. Like, the members are laughing about it, but not actually finding it fun. It's 1000% fixable, trust me. Condition? What condition? Just a habit, that's all. The easiest rule would be to charge a late fee. She'll come around as soon as cash gets involved. Charge a hefty fee. Wow, even when it's for work? It's not some condition she suffers. It's called being inconsiderate as heck. I can guarantee that she does not run late to the most important moments of her life. She's pretending it's something unfixable because she doesn't want to take the blame for what is her fault. Nope, not a condition, just zero manners. Stop turning everything into a condition. Oh my god, do you guys remember that one TikTok where like, I don't know the full context, but I'm just bringing it up because someone was like complaining about her employer not, you know, taking into account her time blindness, and it caused like this whole discussion about time blindness and how it's not a real thing, or some people, yes, it actually is a real thing. Do you guys remember that situation? Some also found it curious as to why Soyeon brought up Miyeon's tardiness on a TV program at all, considering how it could and did highlight the member in a negative way. I literally touched on this a couple minutes ago how I don't think it's in Soyeon's best interest to paint her member in a negative light. But if you're going on a show, and the whole point of going on a show is to be entertaining, what is more entertaining than exaggerated beef so that people can poke fun and have a laugh out about it? And of course, we don't know the full context either. Maybe it's just not even like official schedules or anything. Like they just need to go to dance practice or something and they happen to have to share a car. So under normal circumstances, it really wouldn't be a big deal if she's late. But because she's paired with someone who's never tardy, it ends up being something different. Like, do you think Miyeon really could have become an idol if she was late for everything? If she was late to official schedules? If she was late to a concert? Like, do you think she would have been able to become an idol? Like, that's just, I don't know. I remember ATs. They were saying that Jung was always late as well, and it never became this big of an issue. Do you know what I mean? I think context also matters. But here's some more comments. Run 5 minutes late once. Start heading out 10 minutes earlier next time. What's so hard about that? I will never understand people who run late. I'm also late all the time. It is a condition that I cannot fix. I don't even agree to going places that take a long time because of it. She doesn't like it about herself, but she knows that people will be understanding about it. And that's how come she can't break the habit. Once she runs into people who fight her over it, criticize her about it, etc., she'll come right around. Running late all the time is not a condition. I'm glad she's working on doing better, but I do agree that for some people, not being able to make it on time is a condition. I effing hate people who don't value other people's time. Though, human to human, I think it comes down to a matter of trust. Does she have ADHD? If it has been happening since she was a kid, she might look into getting tested. South Korea is not the most forgiving about people who run late, but Koreans aren't too vocal about the inconsiderate behavior. It's the fans who defend her and tell her it's okay. She's causing an inconvenience to other members because she's still accepted even when she runs late. I absolutely despise people like her. I hope she ends up with someone who's exactly like her. So again, can you imagine like if this was really just an exaggerated issue for the show and people are putting like so much of their energy and input? Like, I hope she ends up with someone just like her. How inconsiderate. Turns out, yeah, maybe she is late sometimes, but it's really not like a huge issue. Imagine she's like 1 minute late and so just brought it up. I don't know. We really don't know the context, but here are some more comments. Don't make it hard on people around you. Break the habit. She would have made a horrible employee. Wow, I have a sibling who does this. Like, they'll leave at 6 when they should have been there by 6. I could never understand. But I guess some people are like that. It's definitely a condition and it doesn't get better. My sibling's now married, but they're still running late all the time. I'm the type who's ready 2 hours before and I hate running late, so we used to clash so much. So I'd love to know what you think about this situation. Do you think the situation was just exaggerated for a show? Do you think this really is an issue that's like been boiling under Soyeon's skin? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not one to fall into pre-debut hype of groups. It's just, I don't know, until I see like an official song, you know, maybe if I see one of 18 pre-release tracks, you know, K-pop's changing. We don't see debuts for a while, but until I see something tangible, I'm really not going to like put all my eggs in one basket. A lot of you answers can't relate. Do you guys remember when NMIXX released an album ahead of their debut? Like you could pre-order the album without even knowing who was. Oh my god, that feels like a fever dream. I digress. The Black Label has been rumored for a really long time now to debut a girl group. Now, I don't know if it's been confirmed anywhere, but we have a lot of speculation of who could potentially be in the group. For context, the Black Label used to be a subsidiary of YG Entertainment, but I think it's its own independent label now. This is home to Somi, Taeyang. Now, of course, until a group debuts, we really will not know the final lineup. But photos of rumored members of the Black Label's new girl group becomes a hot topic. Now, they're with some familiar faces. I'm recognizing at least one face in here, so let's check it out. Why not? I'm really excited. When it comes to Teddy, recently photos of the members who are alleged to be trainees of the company and the next to debut were shared on the Korean forum in the coup. So where did they get these pictures? I don't know. Do you ever see it was like Blackpink and plus Miyeon actually like walking out of the YG building and there's people like filming them and like, oh my god, like trainees are so, I don't know, I hear idols talking about how they were so popular in their school or something even before they debuted and I'm like, why did people care? Like I really wonder like why people care because I've never experienced something like that. Like I've just never experienced like somebody being like celebrity level in my school, so it's always so interesting to me. To be honest, I used to think idols were lying when they would say like they had fans at their school. I was like, Like, why though? Like, what do you do? Like, like, I understand to be a fan of like an idol, but like, why are you a fan of some random person? I never understood it. I actually do have a story once though that I didn't think of while I was filming this. I was friends with this one guy. We were so young, oh my god. And he became like a model. Like so he did in theory kind of become like a mini celebrity. And then like I went up to him and he just pretended like he didn't know who I was. So that's my story. So here's the first picture. And then we have another picture here. I don't know, just like the dark dingy dungeon vibes remind me so much of Blackpink pre-debut, and I love it. Although the excitement was already huge, the alleged members became more of a hot topic when some huge and recognizable names were seen in the photo. So the first one is Ella Gross. I don't know if you remember her. She was just a child in 2018 when she went viral. Everybody was calling her like Jennie's little sister. So she was only 10 years old when she joined the Black Label. So she'd be like 15 or 16 now. So here's Ella now. The next person we have is Moon Soyeon. And this is the girl everyone's calling it Chaebol. So I thought Chaebol was like a bad thing. But like everyone's calling her a Chaebol. I don't know if they mean that like in an exaggerated way, like she's so rich she could be a Tebot if she's actually, I don't get it. Tebot is literally rich family or financial clique, is a large industrial South Korean conglomerate run and controlled by an individual or a family. A Tebot often consists of multiple diversified affiliates controlled by a person or group. I thought people didn't like Tebots. I don't know. But anyway, she is the granddaughter of Shinsegae's president. Then we have Bailey Sok, who is apparently a choreographer. Now, I'm wondering how old she is, if she's been choreographing for Red Velvet, aespa, and even Taeyang as well. Here's a picture of her with aespa. Oh my goodness. Baby aespa. When the photos were shared with the familiar names, international netizens reacted to the news, along with sharing their excitement for the possible debut and already known names. I wonder if any of them have social media, because I'm finding, like, I feel like this is such a change in the industry where I know that that sounds so obvious, but back in second gen you'd hear about groups who weren't allowed phones for like the first year since their debut. Can you imagine not having a phone for a whole year? So you're not on social media, you're not posting. You would even watch TV shows where they wouldn't allow them having phones, so they couldn't post anything, so they couldn't spoil the show. For example, I watched like a season of Asia's Next Top Model and they weren't allowed their phones. Like one of the girls got kicked off because she literally just went on her phone. She didn't even post anything. She just went on her phone and she got kicked off. These days you watch TV shows and they encourage everybody to post about it. I don't know. Does this make sense to anybody? I wonder if they have social media, because I feel like that's going to play more and more into debuting a group, having a following ahead of their debut that's more than just like a local following of people like videotaping the. Oh, apparently there's gonna be an Mnet show. I thought they had beef though. Well, I guess if the Black Label is its own entity now, they can like be like, that's your beef with YG, not us. Do they really need to be in an Mnet show? Can't Teddy just debut them as he pleases? Knowing Mnet, business hungry vultures could ruin a perfectly good lineup. The Black Label new Gigi come through. So of course, let me know if you're excited about this lineup, if you're excited about this new group. I have been one to like underestimate sub labels. When New Jeans came out, I'm like, what's Adore? Like, it's just a sub label of Hybe. Like, who's gonna like New Jeans? Now I'm a fan. Let's talk about the ZEROBASEONE Jiwoong swearing situation, because I've seen it everywhere and a lot of people saying, no, the video was edited. No, it's a staff member, or yes, he did. The company even getting involved. So this is really interesting. So a fan, of course, had a fan call with him and posted about her experience, because it seems that he swore at the end of it once the paper was put in front of the camera. So it's still recording, but he's blocked off. Let's take a look at the clip. So you can hear he says thank you and then the swear. So the fan basically wrote, do you usually say F after talking to fans? I'm not sure, so I'm asking other Zeros' thoughts. So the article goes on to explain that usually instead of like ending the call, a paper is placed in front. If you see like fan calls on TikTok or wherever you watch fan calls, you'll see this quite often, because if you're talking to multiple members, imagine like hanging up each time. So as of now, this has 18.2 million views. That's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really think this would be big news. I was just like, oh, like maybe he dropped some, I don't know, like what and under what circumstances would you swear after a phone call? Of course, I've seen a lot of fans defending him. There was a clip of him in a live stream or something where he was about to swear and people are saying, oh, she used that clip to frame him or something. But I heard the clips side by side and they really don't sound the same. And I mean, apparently the company is looking into this forensically, so we should eventually find out what actually happened. But after she posted that, it seems that she posted another clip of the beginning of the fan call where it seems that he was sighing, which of course led to some more backlash. K-netizens slam ZEROBASEONE's Kim Jiwoong after additional proof of his bad attitude surfaces. So let's watch this video as well. Can someone, I don't know where the sighing was. I mean, I'm not saying he looks terribly interested, but I don't know where the sighing specifically is. Or was it just like a, obviously I know what a sigh is, but I was expecting from the title for it to be like a, not like a, do you know what I mean? As soon as the call started, he sighed and showed hateful attitude. Why do fangirls have to pay $1 gazillion to be treated like this? It's not like I made him say weird stuff. I didn't do anything wrong. It's 100% Kim Jiwoong's fault. There is no reason. I'm sure I just caught him on a bad day, huh? This sucks. Then here are some comments in response. I was rooting for them until this happened. So I guess this is how it ends. What a disappointment. Isn't he a rookie though? Why is he sighing when he's being called good looking? He shouldn't be an idol if he's going to act like this. It's not like fans get to do these video calls by spending a few pennies. LMAO. If he starts the call with an attitude, it's 100% his problem. Like, if you don't want to hold fan meetings over video, then don't be an idol. People paid good money to talk to him on those video calls. He should not be sighing in their faces. And those of you asking what's wrong with that, he's literally supposed to be doing his job. He needs to be aware that everything he does matters and that he cannot be sighing, not even without realizing it. His entire career depends on how many copies of the albums his fans buy to be on these calls. With other similar comments like, listen, if you want a break, take one forever. There are other trainees who are more desperate for your position. So what did Wakwon say in response to this? After checking with Kim Jiwoong himself, the claim is not true. We also checked with the employees and translator that were present at the scene, with them adding on, for the sake of objective accuracy, Wakwon will very clearly and definitively ascertain the truth by using various methods, including digital media forensics, and we will protect our artist. So after they denied this happening, here's what some people thought about it. Then what did he say? The F aside, the first part of the video was rough enough. Then what did he say? The fans will like him even with this kind of statement, so who cares? They had forensics? They should have just apologized and say that he will show a better side or something like that. Why do they keep on insisting that it wasn't true? They even mentioned the digital forensics. Forensics? What forensic? Are they in their right minds? They're like thugs, like company, like artists. Apologize to the fan instead. So it's safe to say that some people weren't too happy with them denying it. Wakwon ridiculed for their clueless response to the ZEROBASEONE Kim Jiwoong's attitude controversy. So it's just similar comments. Here's one that stands out. And what exactly are the digital media forensics investigators going to look at? Their devices? The fan's device? How will they obtain the fan's device? It's not like they have a warrant. A lot of people basically saying that they heard very clearly what was said, so they're unsure of how forensics is going to sway public opinion. But this isn't it, because the fan actually released a response to this as well. It seems that the company released like an entirely unrelated thing in regards to protecting their artists, which given the timing of all of this, a lot of people thought was in response to this fan. So she responded to that. I'm additionally writing because many attacked my character based on groundless speculations. Following my post to the fan call, I don't understand why the agency decided to post an official statement regarding taking legal action against Sasaengs who trespass and people spreading false rumors. I am not a Sasaeng who trespassed, nor a person who contacted a member spreading rumors. As soon as the statement got out, people suddenly started attacking me, saying I'm those people, so I deserve to get sworn out because I'm a Sasaeng, which is absolutely not true. I've definitely seen a lot of people running with this as well, being like, well, he had the right to swear at her. I mean, It's not illegal to swear at someone, but people justifying that he swore at her because she's allegedly a sasaeng who followed him everywhere. People saying I was a mean sasaeng, or I was ugly, or I talked about a gay drama so he swore me out. These are absolutely not true. I am just a fan who really liked Kim Jiwoong. I rewatched the recording over and over thinking I must have misheard, and then I watched a few more times to check if I made him uncomfortable or said something offensive, but I couldn't figure out why he did, and I am utterly heartbroken. I also read the official statement this morning denying the allegation based on the staff and the members himself testimony. This fan call event was held a week ago, and how could you release an official statement relying on their memories, although I have video proof? I am upset and sad that the company is alluding to an individual like me as a rumor spreader, and everything is my fault. Please stop spreading rumors about me saying I'm a sasaeng, I talked about a gay drama, or I looked ugly. It seems that the comments here are in support of her as well. I feel so bad for her. She didn't even do anything wrong. Seriously, why are they like that? Imagine spending money to get sworn at, fighting to her. So this is a statement released by the company that was apparently badly timed and unrelated to her, though a lot of people thought it was related to her. We won't read the whole thing. You get the gist that they're talking about sasaengs and taking legal action and all that jazz. So what do you think of the situation? And what do you think will come out of the forensic investigation in all of this? I've been seeing absolutely everywhere that Hybe is trying to buy SM again. So I haven't even read about it, to be honest, yet, but just from the comments I've read, people like, if you read the actual article, you would know. So let's read an article and see. So the buzz around these entertainment industry giants' intentions stems from a report hinting that Kakao, who acquired SM early last year, may be exploring the idea of divesting from the K-pop giant. Now, it seems that Kakao has denied these claims. So it should end there, right? No. No, of course, if we have like Hybe in the news for buying SM again, that's huge, because remember last time that tried to happen? That was not good. Recent reports from Chosun Biz claim that several companies, including Hybe, NCSoft, FNF, MGM, and even SM Entertainment founder Lee Soo-man, have made moves that point to reignited interest in acquiring or reacquiring, in each case, the company. Here's what some people think. They already said they aren't selling. They made the decision a while back, so why are we still writing articles about this? I wish Hybe weren't the ones to buy SM. If Hybe buys SM, it's basically a monopoly. Hybe says they don't have the money to buy SM, but of all the parties interested in buying SM, I bet Hybe has the most money. I don't care anymore. Let them do what they will. I've seen so many contradicting reports. I can't believe these articles anymore. So as far as we know, Kakao has denied this, but if the industry insider rumors end up being true, I wonder if the SM employees are going to put up a big fight like they did last time. Okay, moving on to our K-pop song of the day, which is, drumroll please, Twice's I Got You. I've been dying for a Twice comeback. Oh my god, this is gonna sound so bad. I just haven't super been vibing with Twice's recent releases, and that's fair. That's my right to not vibe with something. But I'm so happy that I heard this song and I immediately fell in love with it. It's just so fun, and is it city pop? I think it's city pop. I actually did a reaction to this for my channel members. I didn't think I would like it at first because I'm like, not another retro song. But it ended up just being I wanted to bounce to it. So beautiful. And of course the vocals. Let me show you my favorite part. I messed up the lyrics, pretend you didn't see that, but that's my favorite part. I definitely really recommend this song for our K-pop song of the day. As for us, that is basically it for today's video. I'm still compiling some TikToks for the next video. A huge shout out to my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for supporting this channel on a monthly basis. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye! I really didn't stress too much about looking ugly in videos before shorts. Now that I do shorts, I'm like, oh my god, I have to look good in every second of the video in case there's a potential for short form content, and then my short form content gets more views, and then if I don't look as good, am I even wearing lipstick? I tried to put it over my lip gloss, which why did I put lip gloss before the lipstick? Good question.